Hey Reddit. Which job is a lot less fun than most people expect? Yes, I am annoyed. For more videos, like and subscribe.
Video game tester. You aren't spending your time playing completed, fully realized games. You are playing the same level of a game over and over, seeing if there are bugs.
I had a friend who got a job as a tester at Activision. They had him testing interactive Disney storybooks.
Video game testing is like prostitution. It's doing something you love in the least fun way possible. Sure, some days it can be great and just like the real thing. But most days it's a huge pain in the ass.
Archaeologist. Did it during my 20s and that was more than enough. Long, hot days. Living out of cheap motels on shiz pay. And you typically find nothing more than some pieces of glass and broken pottery. Every once in a blue moon you find something cool. But those items generally end up getting stored away in a box full of other artifacts never to be seen again.
I went to George Washington's boyhood home near Fredericksburg, VA, where they were sifting through dirt. I was a tourist by myself, and watched them dig from a distance. Nothing amazing. What did amaze me though was the amount of people that asked, "What you digging for?" I ended up asking the intern how many people ask that. And she said, "Too many to count, sir." I felt so bad.
This X10. Most people have no idea that professional archaeology is usually tedious, physically difficult, and uncomfortable work. And you get paid shiz and share shizzy hotel rooms with coworkers that, like you, are also functional alcoholics and have probably slept with other coworkers too. Oh, and that's actually a pretty good scenario after spending anywhere between 3 and 10 years getting a master's degree or doctorate. Did it for years. Gave it up for an office job when my kids were born. One of the best decisions I ever made. After reading through this thread for 20 minutes, I've concluded that every job sucks.
I think doing anything for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week would probably get tiresome.
Zookeeper. Don't get me wrong, it's awesome to be around so many amazing animals and care for them. But the smells are ridiculously, insanely foul. I have a really strong stomach and it's still tough for me. We've had some interns quit over it. I was warned about the smells when getting into the field, but thought, oh, I've volunteered at animal shelters. I know what animal stink smells like. Nope, not even close.
Which smell the worst? Are there any that don't?
Ha ha ha. That's the truth. I've been a keeper for 10 years and recently became a department director and was surprised how much of a problem we have with this with the new keepers and interns. I've had to constantly tell some of them, yes, you do actually have to clean up the otter poop. Yes, I know it's slimy and smells like rotten fish. That is how an otter works. No. You can't take an hour break to shower 3 times just because you slipped in the sick cheetah's diarrhea puke. Go wipe it off and get back to work.
Accounting isn't the adrenaline rush that most people think it is.
But the glamour, the perks, the respect.
But what do you do if the two sides of the spreadsheet don't balance?
Demolition. Everyone wants to break shiz with a sledgehammer. Everyone is tired of lifting that sledgehammer by 5 swings. Nobody wants to load the broken stuff into bags or a wheelbarrow and take it to the dumpster.
I did a 2-week demo job years ago where I had to jackhammer 75 pounds at least a concrete slab and grind rebar into pieces. I'm in good shape and that job fricked me up.
I always say the more fun it is to go somewhere, the worse it is to work there, like amusement parks and arcades.
Honestly, every job that lots and lots of people really want to do sucks. Mostly due to supply and demand. You're gonna be treated like shiz. And if you complain, you're gonna be fired because you're inherently replaceable. Because there's thousands of people that would love to do your job for even less money than you are making.
I'm a marine biologist. I spent the last week measuring defrosted fish heads.
The sea was angry that day.
Lawyer. No, it isn't like they show on TV. Hey, finally case is before the judge. Crap, the other party didn't show up. Next date that judge has given is 3 months away.
And that's just litigation. As Tom Hanks once said, it's like doing homework for a living. ETA for the pedantic types, which it shouldn't surprise me. Being lawyers and all. It was an interview many years ago and he was asked what career he would hate to have if wasn't an actor. It stuck with me because it rang true.
Hiking and backpacking guide worrying for others the whole time takes the fun away.
I went on a glacier hike when I was in Iceland and the guide seemed genuinely shocked and thrilled that my girlfriend and I were the only 2 people on his tour that day, and we had actually spent more than 5 minutes outdoors and were appropriately dressed. He said usually he had fairly large groups of tourists who typically had practically no outdoor experience and even less experience with cold weather. He said people often showed up in flip-flops even though the instructions clearly said to wear sturdy hiking shoes. He also said the groups typically move extremely slowly and he never gets to take people up onto the part with the best views and cleanest looking ice. He actually seemed really relieved we wanted to go further up and were making great time, like it was a treat for him. He was very knowledgeable and seemed so excited to talk about the stuff he knew, and I got the impression he usually spent more time babysitting than actually sharing that knowledge.
I have seen this question before, and then it was Zookeeper at the top comment too. Nice. Anyways, there's this making of Frozen 2 mini docu. Most animators work weeks for a minute of animation of one character, if not less. At one point they decided to leave out a piece that one person had solely been working on. Must be crappy to be part of the credits without being able to say, "This is my part."
I couldn't believe it. It was even crazier to me when Sterling K. Brown recorded an entire song and it got scrapped. It's insane how much ends up on the cutting room floor for a movie to be just right. I was so psyched for the animator that did that end scene for Into the Unknown, though. She killed it.
We need to appreciate animators way more. It's a tough job we take for granted.